Hello, everybody. Welcome. How's it going? Happy evening. Um, I burned myself like half an hour ago, and my hand still hurts. So I'm spoilers, but I'm currently using a Coke can to like try and cool it down. Because I got boiling hot olive oil spattered across the back of my hand, which foolishly I allowed to remain stuck to my hand, and so my finger stings. It's not super bad. Like, it's just pink. There's not even a blister. It's just pink, but it hurts. It stings, and I'm not having a great time with it. Did I run it under cold water for 5 minutes? No. I got an ice pack out of the fridge, and I pressed my hand into the back of the ice pack. Oh, hi, my Rhea is like, I skated this afternoon and hit a slope that was steeper than it looked. And you say that, and I think of like the Red Bull X Games, where they have like the ice skating loop that has like hills and stuff, the like extreme sports. Of course, Maria is speaking about roller skating, not ice skating, not skating. The fake skating. Anyhow, it's particularly funny because, like, I don't know, by and large, a Canadian would never say I went skating today and mean it as anything other. Am I gatekeeping skating? Yes, a little bit. That's built into the Canadian identity. But I don't think there is a Canadian out there who is likely to go, I went skating today, and mean anything other than I went ice skating. Because if you are going outside, you're roller skating or you're roller blading. I don't know anybody who would be like, I'm going to go skate around the seawall. They would be like, I'm going to go roller skate around the seawall. I'm going to go rollerblade around the seawall. If you say we're going skating, you mean we're going to the ice rink for a public skating session. We should go skating sometime. If you were for instance asking someone on a date and you were like, "Hey, do you want to go skating sometime?" That would be going to the ice rink. And yes, the Avril Lavigne song "Skater Boy" is referring to skateboarding. But again, this is something that, like, dialectically we would be able to tell from context. Nobody who ice skates calls themselves a skater, because that's what skateboarders are. Someone who ice skates would call themselves an ice skater or a hockey player. They would be more specific. But if you were to say, do you want to go skating? That means, do you want to go to the arena and participate in a public skate? Or a figure skater, that's right. That's right, like calling yourself a biker because you like bicycling. Cyclist. Biker is something else. Jibcat says I'm wrong here, but no, Jibcat is wrong. Jibcat is categorically wrong. Don't disapprove me. It's not my fault you're wrong. You just sit there in your wrongness and be wrong. to lift a line from... Ooh. That was an interesting sensation. To lift a line from the West Wing. Say... I think I said bicycling previously, or bicycling. I don't remember how I pronounced it. It's cycling. I would never call it bicycling. Matt and being ultra Canadian wrong. Name a more iconic duo. Literally any other duo. I am right. Listen, look at me. I am the captain here. Look at me. Zafty, you are not the law. I am the law. You are merely an enforcer of the law. I literally write the laws that you are there to enforce. I am the law. Once again, a skate park is something that we would know from context, because you don't call a hockey arena a skate park. You don't call an arena a skate park, but you do go skating in an arena. You go skateboarding at a skate park. And even so, even if I were to concede that you do go skating at the skate park, that still doesn't clarify Myria's intent. Because Ohio Myria was not skateboarding either. No, you play basketball in a court, not an arena. Thank you very much. No, we know Ohio Myria wasn't skateboarding because she said she was roller skating. She told us that. You're right. We didn't know till she said, because she was being ambiguous. Employing ambiguous phraseology. It is a word. I'm borrowing a line from Loading Ready Run this time. I've quoted 3 different media forms just in this one rant. You know what media form I haven't quoted? Star Trek Picard, which was very bad today. And people keep talking at me like they're enjoying it, and I don't know who these people are. Sorry, I do know who these people are. I don't know what is going through these people's brains. It is preposterous to me that people are enjoying this show. I don't understand it. It's so bad. It makes me actively angry. I have officially reached the closest I have been to just F this show, I'm out, as of today's episode. No, I'm not going to stop watching it. I'm so close to the end now, I need to know how it ends. It's not so much that I'm offended that people are enjoying it, so much as I don't understand how they could enjoy it. It's not how dare people enjoy things. It's I do not understand where you are finding good things in this show. Because basically every aspect of the show is a failure at every level. Like, the characters are not your favorite characters anymore. The nostalgia is cynical. Like, the employment of nostalgia is cynical and misplaced. The show doesn't like the things about Star Trek that you like about Star Trek. It doesn't seem to like many things about Star Trek at all. It's pulling the most hackneyed Samwalk with bait here. Did you like the part where they decide to put off grappling with the ethics of genocide until later? Wasn't that great? I'm going spoiler mode here, but today's major revelation, the thing that really put me over the edge today, was the revelation that Starfleet, after the Dominion War, was operating a secret changeling torture lab for the purpose of weaponizing changelings into spies. And I'm like, I don't know. I remember DS9, where, you know, the Cardassians had a secret changeling torture lab. And in fairness to the Cardassians, they didn't know the changeling was sentient at the time. And they were the bad guys. And so that made me really angry. Like, really actually angry at the show. Like, it's just I'm grappling for a word. It's so incredibly disrespectful of all of the conversations Star Trek has had about these things to this point. And yeah, Samwalk says at this point it's just difficult to justify the Federation. Like, you cannot root for the Federation. The Federation is at best hideously incompetent and compromised to the point of ineffectuality. And at worst, actively evil. Like, they're not, even when they're being, like, not actively evil, they are functionally useless. And I don't understand it. And I don't understand watching this and being like, yeah, I'm enjoying this show. Anyhow, that's what put me over the edge. That's what actually put me over the edge on this one today, is just how unbelievably disrespectful it is to everything that's come before it. Is Picard to me what The Last Jedi is to you, Brownie? No, because The Last Jedi is incredibly respectful of Star Wars. It thinks Star Wars is great. Picard does not. Picard actively hates Star Trek. The thing, Picard doesn't even really want to pretend it's BSG. Like, BSG at least thought the humans were doing the right thing most of the time. Oh, man. Tuvok's actor says he can reveal that he appears in 2 episodes. All right, well, presumably he's alive then. Or it's a flashback to when they killed him. There's that. Anyhow, so all of this is going on. Lore is in the series for some inexplicable reason. Oh, that's right. The Changeling does say when we're finished with him, he'll wish he was dead. They did confirm he was alive. But no, they are not at the moment bringing back old characters just to kill them. They already did that. Tuvok, as far as we know, it is still alive. As far as we know. Jesus. What else was there? All right. This is just a little nitpick. And it's like something that was clearly in the edit, but it annoyed me because it's just sloppy. Is there are two shots of Geordi essentially back to back trying to reason with Lore to try and get Data's personality out of Lore. And he says, "Data, I know you're in there, and I know you can hear me." And then one scene later, he again says, "Data, I know you're in there, and I know you can hear me." He says it twice. They don't even change the line. He just says it twice. And it's very awkward and stilted. And increasingly, it seems like so Lore was never Data, you're right, but he is now. Lore and Data exist in the same person. They exist in the same body now. They share a head. There's a firewall between them, apparently, but they share a head. And how does that work? Well, this was all last week's episode. We talked about this last week. But the way it works is that Dr. Soong's brother, I guess, built a positronic body of the same type that Picard now lives in, and then uploaded his own memories and Before's memories and Lore's entire personality matrix and Data's entire personality matrix into this one body, and then was just like, fight it out, I guess. All right, and Lol. Sorry, I constantly forget about Lol, but Lol's in there too. And yeah, like Soong's brother is just like, they'll figure it out. Spoilers, they didn't figure it out. There's a firewall in between them, and they haven't integrated personalities yet. Picard has been a robot since season 1, Jibcat. Keep up. So there was that. There's the... Why is he a robot? Because he died. He died of Irumodic syndrome and had his brain put in a robot. But a decrepit robot because reasons, yeah. Because Patrick Stewart is old. Yes, that's right. He died of Irumodic syndrome, which, according to season 3, he in fact didn't have. That's the big like FU to Picard as a character. Is that they are now evidently retconning the Irumodic syndrome out by turning it into a genetic anomaly. That his son Jack has inherited, and which appears to be giving his son Jack psychic powers and the ability to manipulate others, and not just like manipulate others, but like actually physically cause them to do things, which is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Sam Wonk noted in the Discord that it seems that they are lining up to make a reveal about Picard's character, that in fact he was never a genius Starfleet captain that was charismatic and good at his job. He was just operating a low-level psychic field that allowed him to be charismatic and have people get in line behind him. This is not for sure, But this does appear to be where the series is heading, which is very stupid, I agree. Irritonic syndrome is not a real disease. The Irritonic syndrome is in Star Trek The Next Generation. It is a disease that Picard learns he has late in the series. And it is terminal. There's no cure for it. And it is a degenerative, like a neurodegenerative condition that everybody... it's basically like a form of dementia. Right? Like the specific diagnosis in Next Gen is that he's basically got dementia. It's going to kill him. They don't know how long it's going to be. They don't know how to cure it. Yeah, sort of like space Alzheimer's. Not quite. But it becomes a major plot point in the final episode of The Next Generation, like the finale, because he's trying to convince, like an old version of Picard is trying to convince all his friends that they need to go on one last galaxy-saving ride in the finale of Star Trek The Next Generation. And all of his friends don't believe him because they're like, sure, old man, let's get you back to bed. Your Irritonic syndrome is very advanced. Let's get you back to bed. You're just having like hallucinations of the adventures that we went on in the past. And then they sort of eventually go along with it and go on the adventure because they're like, well, he's gonna die of Irritonic syndrome. Maybe we should just let him have his bone. And we'll indulge this hallucination and we'll take him out on one last adventure. Somebody get Riker on the line. Let's get a ship together and we can go assuage his anguish by checking out the thing that he says we need to go check out. And then in the first season of Picard, they confirm that he has Irritonic syndrome, and then he dies of it. And now in this season, they have cast doubt on whether it was in fact Irritonic syndrome at all. So there's that. More galling to me is the fact that we finally got to the like why, right? The why the bad guys are doing what they're doing, more or less. And it's exactly what everybody predicted it was, which I was sure it wouldn't be. Because it makes no sense for this to be the last season of the series, but the motivation of the bad guys does, in fact, appear to be that they want to cause harm to Starfleet on Starfleet's big Unification Day celebration or whatever it is. And they are doing it because Starfleet ran a secret changeling torture lab. And so they just want revenge on Starfleet for running a secret changeling torture lab. Like, there doesn't appear to be anything really much deeper than that. And again, and the reason that they're going after Picard, I guess, is because there's something special about, like, the current state of the show is they think that they're trying to create a perfect genetic duplicate of Captain Picard so that they can infiltrate the Starfleet Day. And there's probably going to be more to it because of this genetic marker, but that's where we're at right now, is that they want to make a duplicate of Picard's body so that they can infiltrate the Federation Day. And this is not something Picard had anything to do with. This is not a storyline that is relevant in any way whatsoever to the Next Generation or to any of the characters of the Next Generation or to anything that ever happened on the Next Generation. It doesn't... There's like no paying off a thread that was left unturned in the Next Generation Captain Picard was posted on the other side of the galaxy from the Dominion War because Starfleet was worried that Locutus would come back and they didn't want to fight a battle on two fronts. So they put him as far out of the way as they possibly could. We're like, you go do diplomatic missions or something. Just please stay out of the war. And for some reason, this show has decided to take the fallout of DS9 and make it Captain Picard's problem, which makes no sense. Sure, they were using the Enterprise to get allies for the war. Sure. But it still doesn't make any sense. Like, none of this makes any sense. I don't know why you would write this story with these characters. It does not make sense. That's right. And half the DS9 actors are still working actors, and none of them have shown up. Also true. Anyhow, I march into a new week awaiting whatever horrors will be delivered unto my eyes on Thursday. You're right, Brownie. It does sound like they didn't get the point of DS9. All right, I got it off my chest. I got it out. The catharsis has taken place. I have catharted, that's right. Better than other things I could have done that end with the sound tharted. Or arted. Oh, also, once again, the camera swung around in this episode so much. So much, like, it doesn't normally bother me that the camera is moving a lot. Like, I just don't notice it. But today I did. And boy, was it ever just like, yeah! All right, now I've got it out. I don't. That's a lie. It also bugs me that both of the antagonistic forces in the show right now are just the Joker. Different versions of the Joker, but just the Joker. Laura is the Joker. Laura just gets off on causing chaos and inserts himself in the middle of this otherwise already difficult situation just to make everybody's lives worth and laughs at it because it's funny to him. And then Vadic, the changeling bad guy, is just doing her best Heath Ledger impression for some reason. I Oh, yeah, there's also a character credited as The Face. And it is The Face. All right, John Locke Cole asks, so as someone who has seen none of this show, what is a changeling and why do we care? Like, the Federation literally welcomed the Grinch's species, and like ant people with weird semi-collectiveness, why aren't changelings just another accepted species? And the answer is, in DS9, the changelings were essentially an Imperial force that had taken over the Gamma Quadrant. Not by not by taking the form of things, but by exercising like imperial and political and military control of the Gamma Quadrant. That is true. It's basically true. They had formed the Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant. Okay, it doesn't. Jim Cat says they decided that unless they were on top, they would be attacked. That is exactly Imperial thinking. You're right. That is correct. So anyhow, as soon as the wormhole opened up and they got word that solids from the Alpha Quadrant were traveling into their neck of the woods, they decided to put their boot heels, to the extent that changelings have boot heels, on these new invading species. Not true. It is exactly true. Anyhow, the Dominion launched a massive war of invasion against the Alpha Quadrant. Yeah, Jim Cat changeling apologist here. But anyhow, they launched an invasion campaign against the Alpha Quadrant, and then they courted they courted the Cardassians as their arm of power in the Alpha Quadrant, who were the antagonistic alien race during the events of Star Trek DS9 and late TNG. So that's the gist of it. They were a major Imperial invading army that were an existential threat to the Federation. The Federation managed to win basically by threatening genocide. The Federation did bad things too here. They were pushed to the point where they essentially threatened genocide by infecting the changelings with a virus. And then upon achieving a peace between the species, the virus was cured. It's actually that's right. They attempted genocide and threatened not to stop it, which is why I say they threatened genocide, because they did stop it. So anyhow, yes, it is true. The through line of the changeling virus plot was that it was bad and wrong, and that they had resorted to it as an existential threat, and they all knew it was bad and wrong. So anyhow, the virus gets cured, and ultimately what goes on, it's Section 31, Jim Cat, not Section 39. But ultimately, the disease is cured, peace takes place, and the changelings are basically like, just leave us alone. Please, just leave us alone. And so we did. The Federation did. And that's why they're not like an accepted race in the Federation. They basically were like, just leave us alone. And so that's sort of where things ended up. That's true. They do, in fact, still more or less run the whole Gamma Quadrant as far as we know. But there is a tenuous peace between the changelings and the Federation. So anyhow, now, according to Picard, after all this, the Federation spun up a secret changeling torture lab for the purpose of turning them into spies. Yes, the secret changeling torture lab. So I can't be 100% sure because I wasn't watching that closely. But somebody based on uniforms present in the scene was like, well, based on the uniform of the doctor conducting the torture, this would have to be post-Dominion War. So ostensibly post-Dominion War, the Federation sets up a secret changeling torture lab. And for the record, the scene, this is why it gets egregious, right? Because there's a scene, they talk about this. So in DS9, Odo is a changeling. We're still going back to like why we care about the changelings. We care about the changelings because one of the main cast characters in DS9 was Odo, who was a changeling separated from the Great Link, and he spent the first couple of seasons just wanting to find out what he was and who he belonged to. He thought he was the last one of his kind. He didn't feel like he belonged among the solids, but he didn't know where his homeworld was. And then he goes through the classic, like, don't meet your heroes situation, where he finds out who the changelings are, and it's like, oh, actually, you're all terrible. You're really, really bad. And so there's, like, an ethical conundrum where he goes back and forth between, like, whether he wants to return to his people or stay with the found family that he's put together on DS9. And so, like, again, we have like that perspective in the cast. So like that is another reason why we care. The Cardassians, of course, had Odo when he was a baby. They had an infant changeling, and they didn't know what it was. They just knew it was a little puddle of goo that could move around and change shapes. And so there was a doctor who experimented on Odo for many years, and used him as a little show piece, and like brought him to parties and had him do tricks and things like that. But we understand that it was painful and it was traumatizing. And it was humiliating to Odo. Like, he has a lot of trauma related to this upbringing. And the doctor, when he shows up in the series, is like, I was trying to improve you. I was trying to make you better. I was trying to teach you how to be. And I was trying to learn about you. And, they do their thing. He's like, I didn't even know you were alive. I didn't know you could feel pain. So I was experimenting and trying to learn about you while also you were learning from me. But in this episode of Picard, we have the Federation secret changeling torture doctor. And there's this scene. It's like a flashback that Vadic is having to being in the lab, and she has 9 vials of changeling. And at this point, the doctor knows these are changelings, right? Like, she knows what she's dealing with. These are sentient beings that she's keeping in jars. And the various scenes that we see of her experimenting on these is her grabbing who can feel pain. She like grabs a butane torch and just runs them along the jars until you can see the liquid boil. She grabs a literal taser and is just like got a petri dish of changeling and is just zapping the petri dish with a taser. Like, it's the most ridiculously unhinged changeling torture lab I have ever seen. Yeah. It's not like there's no possible thing they could be learning from this. She is just torturing these beings by inflicting pain on them. It's not an experiment. She's just sadistically torturing these things. It's ridiculous. It's so weird. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to film her put in the episode. It's nuts. So anyhow, Picard season 3 is a gong show. It was the taser gun that really got me. Like, the butane torch was bad, right? Like, there's not an excuse for the butane torch, but it was the like just a modern taser, like one of the little taser jaw ones, right? Like with the two prongs at the end, like literally just an off the market taser gun. And she's just like pressing it into this petri dish of goo, and the petri dish of goo is like recoiling in pain. And they didn't even like make an effort to make it look like a future taser gun. It's just a current taser gun arcing electricity. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Why are the changelings the villains here again? The changelings, once again, the changelings are the villains of this season because they want revenge against the Federation for opening a secret changeling torture lab and torturing them for years. That is the motivation of the villains, which we learned in the 7th of 10 episodes. And like, yeah, at this point, you hear that and you're like, you know what? Fair play to the changelings. No, Picard had nothing to do with this. Again, Picard had nothing to do with this. Picard is not the villain here. Picard didn't know this was happening. Picard didn't sanction this. Picard had never met a changeling to his knowledge before the start of this this season. But yeah, Sam Walk says, if this were a story about a group of 10 humans trapped in the Dominion in a torture chamber for years who free themselves and embark on a quest to bring down the Dominion, you'd be like, yeah, cool. This is a good story. I'm on board. No. Zath, they are not even going after Picard as, like, the face of the Federation. Like, that is not... it. I would be more forgiving of this plotline if that was what it was. It was like, yes, the Federation's figurehead, the person that the Federation idolizes most. The person who represents the ideals of the Federation. We're going to tear him down publicly so that we reveal to everyone how corrupt the Federation is and what how it's been a facade over these crimes and atrocities. Except that, yeah, the Federation doesn't like Picard and disowned him, and he's not really employed by them anymore, and he had nothing to do with it. And that's not why they want him. They want him, ostensibly they want him because he just happens to have a genetic abnormality that they find useful. So anyhow, this is why this show gets me so riled up every week. Because it is insulting. It's not fun. It is an assault. And at this point, I keep watching it because I am engaging with the ways it is failing. But, man. I know. Ghost of Jeff Goldblum, I know. I also keep seeing people I like say it's good. I posted to my friend Slack today that, like, God, Picard season 3 is awful. And Graham responded to me, because Graham hasn't been watching it. Graham responded to me. Let me pull up the response. Yeah, his response to me was oh God, I've lost it. Where is it? Yeah, Graham responds shortly after I posted, God, this season is bad. Graham is like, I've had several people tell me ignore seasons 1 and 2, but season 3 is actually great. But I trust you more than random people, so I'm baffled. Yeah, and I also was baffled. I was like, yeah, the reviews of season 3 are pretty good, and I don't get it. And Sam Walk is right. I have an easier time tearing into the story components. But yeah, the story problems are bad, and yes, they are very easy to go on about, because that's the level of media analysis I'm operating on, is the easy level. But the dialogue writing is bad, and the camera work is bad, and the lighting is bad. The shot composition is bad. Like, the show is a train wreck. Sounds almost as bad. Brownie, that's bait. Sounds almost as bad as the Halo show, Brownie says. And, like, yes? I don't know. I value my job, so I don't want to go too hard on the Halo show, but, like, you're not wrong. Tibor, you never got a drink pull because I revealed my beverage of the night, like, right off the bat. I've been using. I told chat I burned my hand with boiling oil while I was making dinner, and so I've been using this can of Coke to warm my hand on, or to cool the burn on, because it's still quite painful. Goldar says, since when is your job as a project manager for a video game company dependent on a TV show? Well, what video game am I working on, though, Goldar? Oh, you don't know? Oh. All right, well, it starts with an H and it ends with an O and has the subtitle Infinite. Everyone planned to act surprised this time. Brownie Point says, anyways, I'm sorry you have to watch something you love get treated this rough. That's kind of how I was when I saw Rise of Skywalker. That's kind of how I was when I saw Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I'd been through the prequels already, so I was ready for it, but I mean, that's not true. I really liked episode 7 and 8, so I did go into episode 9 hoping for the best. The trailers looked dope. And then I walked out of the 9th movie being like, what the hell just happened? But I had been through the process of going to Star Wars and having it terribly disappoint me. So that would, like, it wasn't a new experience to me. I was like, well, it had to happen sometime. They had to fall off the wagon here at some point. But anyhow, this has been my Picard rant. I don't know. I'm gonna just send this whole waffle to Graham as an explanation for why I think this season is so bad. Yeah, our weekly Picard rant. At this point, because I haven't opened this can of Coke, I'm gonna have to go grab a fresh can of Coke from the fridge. Ooh, big stretch. I hope you all saw that big stretch. I think she's quite asleep. Ghost of Jeff Goldblum. I don't want to inflict Picard on Graham. He likes Star Trek even more than I do. He deserves to remember the cast and characters of The Next Generation the way they were meant to be remembered, with all good things. And maybe First Contact. Doesn't Graham do some kind of summarizing TNG episodes based only on their titles thing for Desert Bus? Yes. I'm fairly certain if you give Graham the description of an episode, he can name it, or vice versa. If you give him a name, he can tell you the description of the episode. Like the Jim Cat typed Nemesis as Nememesi. Star Trek Nememesi. You can ask me to describe Star Trek Picard plot points next Desert Bus. No, you probably can't. I intend to cleanse this series from my mind at the earliest opportunity. The Maricat says, real talk, prior to this, Patrick Stewart was essentially considered incapable of doing anything wrong. Will Picard's stink wipe that out, or will it be someone else's fault? Honestly, Patrick Stewart is not the problem with this show. He has one really bad scene that I can remember where, like, I don't know what he's doing or why. But by and large, he is not the problem. He has been given absolute dreck as material, but he's not the problem with this show. Okay, I should move on. Sandai says, hasn't Patrick Stewart getting his desire for Picard to be an action hero over everything been part of the problem with the show? He hasn't really been an action hero in this show. He's too old. Like, he hasn't been involved in a lot of action. His character is written as if he was an action hero, and people relate to him as if he were an action hero in his prime, which he wasn't. But he's not really being an action hero in this show. He was an action hero as a cadet. That's right. Picard got into knife fights as a young man. No, Picard got shanked as a young man. There's a big difference. There's a really big difference. Any fight you walk away from his way. He didn't. He literally died. They had to replace his entire heart. It's true. On the other hand, laughing when you get stabbed in the heart is a baller move. That's true. Oh, man. Oh, dear. That's the laugh I needed for the night. All right. I'm going to go replace this, and I will be back momentarily. There, she's got her bed back. Do I plan on seeing the D&D movie? Yes, I already have my ticket. We're going to see it tomorrow night, I think. Tomorrow night? Yes, tomorrow night. And hopefully it's good. But we're going tomorrow night. Ah, this cold Coke can on my burn. Oh, there we go. You just missed it because of the camera placement. But Maple did the classic cat stretch. It's one of my favorite things that she does, where she stands up and she just arches her back. Her legs get closer together and her back just goes like this. Have I considered actual medicine for my hand instead of cold cans? No, absolutely not. What is Maple doing, Meg? Maple, I put her bed on top of her like a quilt, and she got too warm, and so she got up and lay down on top of it. But she's just lying there, being a baby. I took her out for a potty just before, or just after dinner. Just before dinner. I took her out for a potty just before dinner. I put her bed on top of her. Yes. She was lying on the floor, and I was like, do you want your bed? And she sort of looked like she wanted her bed. So I got her bed out, and I just put it... She didn't move. She didn't get up or get out of the way, so I just picked it up, and I put it down on top of her. It's just a pillow. It was like a duvet. And now it's got a crinkle in one corner, and so she's using the crinkle as a pillow. I tried to smother her to death. I didn't put it over her head. Her head was still sticking out. I did not even try. You can't say try. I did not try to smother my dog. All right, I owe 2 jokes, and then we're going to do traditions, and then we're going to move on. No, she's not licking it. She's just sitting there with her head out, just looking around. Why do vegetables hate being in a boat? Because there's always a leak. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Trying to find one more for you. It's not going well. This is rough. All I wanted was one more joke. All right. A woman in labor suddenly shouted out, "Wouldn't, couldn't, didn't, can't." Don't worry, said the doctor calmly. These are just contractions. Where do pirates shop for new hooks? The second-hand store. I started a support group for plastic surgery addicts, but I'm finding it hard to keep track of all the new faces. Oh, I never changed the title of this stream. Oops. Alrighty, those are your jokes. Let's move on to traditions. Here is my phone. Here is my phone cable. Everyone, please brace your ear holes. All right, nextly, Garcon, can I have a drum roll, please? It is indeed a delicious and nutritious Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Taste the Painbow. Goldhar, how did the Burger King get the Dairy Queen pregnant? All right. They had unprotected sexual intercourse during ovulation, resulting in pregnancy. That is a good Andy joke. I like it. That's a good one. Okay, we return. Do we have a puppy? We do not. Also, apparently, I'm 99% of the way to getting this achievement, which is super annoying. Thank you for the raid, Pat Bear. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. And, you know, being 99% of the way to that achievement is really annoying because the only way to get that achievement is to restart the level from 0 and redo the entire thing. There is no way to close that 1%. What's the Chivo for? It's for getting a certain score on a level in Halo Master Chief Collection. Alrighty, we're back.
So, what does an awesome guy like me do now?
The next level is what? Oh, we have thoughts.
When they make a movie about this, who's gonna play me? Or better yet, when they make a video game, who's gonna be my voice actor?
I thought I did talk to Peppermint already.
Without you, it'd just be me without a robot cat.
That's like my quote. People with beards are just people without beards with beards.
You know what? I earned this. Might as well relax some more.
Hey, Chai. How's our rock star doing?
Oh, there is more talk. Enough talk. Have at you.
Chai, so great to see you.
Glad to see we all made it out of that pickle.
And you were the star of the show. Where do you come up with all these great ideas?
Oh, right. We were asleep.
I wish I could tell you, but even I don't let myself in on
We
that.
got knocked out. That's where we were.
Well, look. Take a break. Lay down. You deserve it.
Hello, Butler Tron.
Chai, you really proved yourself as a fearless leader. Mr. Chai, that was quite an amazing performance. So much so, I realized I mistook you at first and misconstructed your psych profile.
So, what's it now?
Instead of brashly acting out based off your fear of inferiority, I see you now act out of confidence. You are surely an inspiration for the team, and for children aged 5 and up.
Rated E for everyone.
Doubt you need them, Hero, but I got some nice upgrades for you.
Talk.
Chai, I gotta say, what you did was inspirational.
What can I say? Sometimes I even inspire myself.
When we jumped out the window, it's like you showed me how to be cool. It's all about living in the moment. Don't think about the consequences.
Ugh, words to live by. But hey, couldn't have made it this far without your help.
I'm here for you, whenever you need me.
All right, great.
So, what does an awesome guy like me do now?
The next mission.
I guess even rock stars need to get out sometimes. So, what's the plan now that we defeated the big bad?
I think it's premature to celebrate.
Don't think you realized it yet.
Appreciate you putting your life on the line, but you gotta snap out of it.
Wait, snap out of what?
Chai, you totally got caught by Corsica.
You mean...
Oi! 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 Did you fall asleep again?
Am I under oath?
I'll make this simple. Tell me where the rest of your team is hiding.
Why don't you shut down that AI for me? Then we'll talk.
What's this obsession
Wait,
with
couldn't they just
Spectre
turn the
anyway?
AI on?
You want to know what it is? It's a simple firmware update, like we have on all our robotics.
Sounds like someone hasn't seen the code or whatever. It's a mind control AI.
Or whatever.
Oh, right! I forgot. You're the only boss without full access to Spectra. Maybe you should look into that.
I'm too tired for this. Take a nap and get the Spectra nonsense out of your system. First thing tomorrow's your last chance to come clean.
Get the Spectra nonsense out of your system. I'll show her. Just gotta find a way out. Man, 808's never around when you... huh?
Yeah, no one will ever hear that.
808! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
All right. I mean, surprised as I am, your plan worked, Chai.
Really?
This is called reciprocity.
So, what do we do now?
You might want to start with getting out of that cell.
Let's make some noise.
change your login password every 48 minutes.
Arm up.
So, now where were we? Peppermint, mission report.
Is that code for Chai forgot the plan again?
Mr. Chai, listening is also a part of communication.
Nah,
I'm doing my best, okay?
I don't
We
think that's
need
true.
Corsica's password.
This is good, good. Go on.
And since you're in security now...
Wait, I got it! I should find Corsica.
Ugh, just go. See if you can figure out where she went.
What if I go this way? Nothing. Because I can't go this way. I'm concerned that that might be the path forward. Ah! See, that's why I don't dash to the beat. Yike! Maybe I'll just go this way. All right, a complete Vandelay life gauge compatible with Project Armstrong parts. Chai's maximum health is increased. No, god damn it! Oh my god. Okay.
Scanning.
Oh no, it's one of these things.
Execution failed. Engaging security lasers.
Looks like Zanzo's lasers made it here.
Ha!
Attention, this is Corsica. There's some sort of security destabilization in Wing 1. I have something else requiring my attention right now. Send whichever repair units we have over there to fix it.
Ooh, health. I like health. Am I bad at the forced rhythm bits? No, not really. I only took 2 tries at that.
Hey now, you over there. You the one they sent? You gonna fix the security probs?
Security problem?
You heard the boss. Wait, why they sending Project Armstrong subjects to fix the security system?
But no reason.
What?
Point me to it.
You don't know me? I'm
Chai, shut up and play along.
here to fix the security thing.
Good, cause no one's getting out of here till that's done. Central elevator won't even move until security nodes are connected.
Yes, you've got to have those security codes for sure.
Nodes, man, not codes. Anyways, 3 rooms of them in here. Guess you might as well get on getting.
That elevator in front of you connects us to the lift, which takes us to Corsica's wing.
Okay.
Guess we got a job to do.
First node's across the elevator. You'll need to power that one up to access the other 2 up top.
Hard labor. Not my jam.
All right. Annoyed by Corsica forward. Get a load of this. Talk about try hard. Email forwarded from Corsica at Vandelay Security. I have no idea how I'm going to do this accent. We're going to end up sounding like the Lucky Charms leprechaun. Reminder to all employees about maintaining top security clearance. Yes, I know it's Irish. Gimli is the wrong tone of voice. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, I gotta try and do Scrooge McDuck here. I bought this sweater yesterday and it has a hole in it already. That's frustrating. Where did that come from? I'm just gonna read it. Reminder to all employees about maintaining top security clearance. Reminder to all employees about maintaining... Nope, that's not it either. About maintaining top security clearance. Did you know how easy it is to accidentally assume non-employees as one of our own? To make sure, follow these steps. Always ask for identification. We have ID badges for a reason. Don't just assume that someone was sent down from another department. Prevent people walking indoors behind you. If necessary, push them to the ground and run away, to make sure they don't follow you in. Casually ask them questions that may reveal that they are not employees of the company. An example would be, don't you enjoy working for insert rival company here in order to infiltrate Vandelay and steal secrets? With these helpful hints, we can keep our workplace safe. Security Node 02.
Do I really have to do this?
Please do not forget, you will be mind-controlled, not us.
Perspective, little guy. We take Corsica's password, and we're halfway there.
3 more Vandelay bosses mean 3 passwords. Then we can turn off Spectra.
3 plus 3 is 6, Peppermints. I can do math. I'm not dumb.
Despite the confusing directions, all security lasers have been installed. Though they do not turn on, I must say, 'tis a good job.
Good. I'm glad they don't turn on. That's very nice. Can I beat them up? I cannot, sadly.
Figures there'd be security in security.
Oh, apparently there are more. Oh my god!
Security detail. Protect bosses at all costs.
Okay, but what if we didn't do that? Ooh, wow. Okay. Game wants me to parry. But what if I didn't parry? All right, the answer to what if I didn't parry is it will go very poorly. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm dead. You know, it felt bad that I broke his stance, and it immediately dropped him into a special attack instead of giving me a chance to hit him. Oh, I lost my combo.
Security detail. Protect bosses at all costs.
it'll counter any attack now.
See if you can parry its counterattack. Should give you the upper hand.
Whoa! What? Well, that wasn't terrible.
So, these are the notes?
Looks like they're out of sync.
I can probably lock their data streams in place with my blaster when the spheres open up.
Here we go!
Let's go!
Gotta time it just right.
Oh, this is the worst. I'm using the controller that has the slightly sticky right trigger.
Peppermint!
You called?
Here we go!
Need help?
Bingo! Should be another one.
What else we got up here? Presumably I have to press the button after locking the nodes in place.
Peppermint, come on!
Light him up!
Here we go!
Go get him, Chai.
I could probably knock that last one in gear.
Samlung says, oh, by the way, remember a couple of episodes and the villains were like, we have to track down everyone close to the heroes and make sure they have nowhere to hide? I do remember that. I have to do one of these again. You're right. Picard's girlfriend hasn't come up since the first episode. And also, remember when they kidnapped Deanna and it never came up again? Oh my god! Ah, I double tapped Y. Oh, come on. How am I so bad at this one? How am I so bad at this one? All right, Pyro, generally speaking, I haven't been terrible at them, but I am having trouble with this one.
I did it!
Really? You got everything connected?
But of course I couldn't have done it without you.
Just get back to the main room. There are still 2 more nodes to activate.
All right, back to the main room we go. Uh-oh.
Please stop. I did not want to harm you.
Please stop. I do not want to harm you. That's vaguely Scottish sounding. Whoa, hello. We've got gears. Gotta pick those up.
Back at you!
Looks like you jump-started your first node. Should be able to get to the other 2 now.
2 routes? Take your pick, little guy.
Who you calling little?
Oh, jeez. They did not mention Z-shielding.
No, Z-shielding.
No way I am getting these supplies up to the node. I am so fired.
Macaroon! Sock him!
Got him, Ty.
All right, I don't want to get fired. Ooh, a barrel. Gotta break all the barrels. Ooh, hello. A chip. Hey guys.
You got this back.
Got a roll up my sleeves. Lift it up. Ready for this?
Oh no, it didn't hit.
Try this out.
Maybe it'll be old one, too.
Rude. Breaking my combo. Ooh, a Chivo. Maple's really having a nap over there. No, stop doing that. Let me hit the one I'm trying to hit.
You got this, Mac.
Hey, another Chivo.
No problem, guys.
We got more incoming. Oh god, we do.
You got this, Mac.
Hold on. One, two.
You got this, Mac.
Wow, I wish I could quit missing the bad guys. Oh god. Oh god! Oh god! Oh no!
Spread this out.
You got this, Mac.
No! That's a really mean combo of enemies to put together.
Try this out.
Hold on. Let me out.
Cat time. Let's go.
No, come on!
Macaroon, sock him.
No problem, guy.
Try this out.
Hold on.
Get him, Macaroon.
Hold.
Wow, rude.
Get him, Macaron. No problem, guys. Huh? Oh. You got this, Mac. Try this out. What eyes on?
Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Okay, I did the thing. Finally.
Get him, Macaron.
All eyes on him.
Uh-oh. Raiders. Hello, Erica. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. How's it going this evening? How is Minecraft, I presume? Oh, Maple's actually standing up. Okay, this looks like a place that I am not supposed to be yet. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, come on. No! This is the true boss fight. For real. I swear to God. There we go. Get all the collectibles first.
Man, I'm so confused on how I even got here. How am I gonna get back? Gotta keep up that map before I forget.
Fuck. Back here, we got boxes. Dude.
Come on, you fellas.
Dude.
Oh, no down, no down. They don't look too heavy. I should be able to get it back in place.
Back around.
Here's the old one, too.
Punch. Wow, with perfect alignment, too. Look at that. Okay, is there anything else I need to do in this room? Oh, that's what I'm not seeing. I have to do this stupid thing again. I like the data stream just has the words data running through it.
Check it out, Chai. We still need to turn on the other data now.
Let's hope this gets me back to the main chamber.
Ow! Ow!
Look at this, partner. An oasis in the dirt. A real place to concentrate. Been right in front of my eyes this whole time. Workers want peace and quiet. All these ducts, all this unused space. The future office.
There are rats.
A small price to pay. Gonna propose this to the board and get the ball rolling.
A lot of security for an air duct.
Report all rats! Figuratively and literally. Oh no! Laser timing reminder. Erase after installation. Doot, 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 doot. Wing 1 access, down. Oh yeah, health bucket. That's what we needed here. Unbelievable. Okay, is this area lit up yet? No.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes. And we're back here again. Smack the thingy. There was no button or anything on it. Nope.
Oh, wow. Did you fix the node? You saved my job. Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess? Alright, now I have to take the other path. Which path have I already taken? The red one. The one that's red. That's the path that I haven't taken.
Come on!
Forward, data node advice from Corsica at Vandelay Security. Just passing this along, some good info here. Data nodes and you, an easy guide to know whether or not you should be handling a data node. Do you know what a user data node is? Good, that means you should be handling one. Do you know the horrible consequences of being trapped inside a data node? If not, then you are approved to work on data nodes. Do you tend to hit things when they don't work correctly? If so, you are not approved to work on data nodes.
Oh, you see this route? How am I even supposed to get up there? I'm sure this is one of those it'll work itself out problems.
Oh, a giant battery. Oh no. Sam Walk has posted an article baiting me completely. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek made one Picard Season 3 Easter egg impossible. With the description of the article, because of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie, Spock can't be in Picard. I can think of at least one other reason. Alright, is that the only path forward from here?
You know, I don't think Corsica's like the other bosses.
Meaning?
She's less insane. Also, she seemed genuinely surprised when I said Spectra is an AI built for mind control.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
She didn't immediately try to kill you. Unusual compared to the other bosses.
I don't see why they'd keep the head of security in the dark about Spectra. Not unless management doesn't trust her.
But then why would she be in charge of security?
You called?
Give up the juicy treats you're carrying, robots.
Peppermint, come on!
Try this out.
Laser's blocked.
I got that one.
Hop.
Try this out!
Let's go!
Your turn, Peppermint! Peppermint, come on!
Light him up!
There we go.
Push it up!
Come on!
There's a chip back here. That was an A.
There we go.
That's it, Chai. All nodes activated. Just get back to our buddy downstairs.
I'm a-coming, buddy. That A was generous. You're right. Oh.
Ready for more?
Oh, no, there's a second round. Oh, God. Oh, God. Uh-oh. I missed the... All right, hey, buddy.
Node's on. Ha, just like I said, these things work themselves out. Now I can get some sleep. Wow, you actually did it.
You sound surprised.
Well, I mean, how much can you really trust a human?
What? I'm the most trustworthy guy ever. Look at this face.
Yeah, nah. Why'd they even let you into Armstrong anyway? You look like one of those hipsters.
No, not a hipster.
Hipsters?
It's the pants.
For the record, I'm offended. But for now, I'll just leave.
Don't see why not. Central elevator's working so you can access the lift out.
What a nice robot friend you made there.
What? No, he made fun of my pants.
Who cares? Ugh. We're finished here. Ride the elevator down and we'll take the lift to Corsica's wing.
I, for one, Mr. Chai, like your pants.
Weird timing, but thank you, Cinnamon.
All right, button. YXX timing. This feels like it's going to be an elevator boss fight.
Unauthorized entry detected.
It's never easy, is it?
Aren't you supposed to have like a 20% chance of breaking that shield for me? Oh, what did I not say out loud? I lost track of where the conversation was at. What am I being accused of now?
Let's try to attack together and maybe we can ground that thing.
That was a fun ride. I wonder what's next.
Oh, that was a whole level.
Lift should be just ahead.
And we're one step closer to Corsica.
That went pretty well up there. You breaking me out, working together.
That's what we do, little guy. We're a team.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a chip way over there. Haha, I'm glad I turned around. Oh, Meg is at last on the way home. Hooray! Well, Meg was just hanging out with a friend. Let's have a look at the upgrades. Upgrades! Oh, I can buy more of those? Whoa, there's another health bar? Oh, I unlocked a second tier of health bar.
Alright. Somehow the defect who I thought we secured got away. What the hell? Not only that, he helped fix our security system. I should be angry, but let's just say my feelings right now are mixed. Yeah, mixed.
Vague praise. I'll take it.
In other words, APB on the kid. See him, call it in.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Watch out, Chai. They're ready to ambush you on the lift.
Oh, these guys are like the dude upstairs. They don't know me. See? Sup, fellow Vandelay employees? Catching the lift?
Yep. Security room 2, just as
There's the
always.
defect! Stop him!
Nah, this is the guy that fixed the security system, man.
Idiots! That's the defect! Get him!
Sorry.
Mind if I join?
That did nothing! True, it did look very cool.
Hey.
Sorry, mate.
Let's get this rolling.
Anytime now.
Hold them off. Next up, Corsica's wing. Expect the worst.
Everybody catch that?
Wind in my hair. You know, this is actually refreshing.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Maybe
Hi,
Rob
robot.
wants peppermints. Might be smooth riding. Whoa.
Here they come.
Uh-oh.
More security coming up on your side.
Oh.
Due to construction, oncoming debris is expected to get irresponsibly close to the lift.
Seriously?
Accidents may result in injuries not covered by our company insurance.
Watch out, Chai!
Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Chai, you must be confused. Avoid means to let them not hit you.
Thanks, Cinnamon.
Here come reinforcements.
Long range.
Well, if only I had a way to close the distance between them and us.
Just let me at him. More of them coming.
Peppermint, come on.
Oh, I actually can't get over there?
Exploding things, incoming.
Pro tip, dodge.
I keep trying to dodge with B, which is definitely not the dodge button. I was not in range of that. Rude.
I'm enjoying the ride, but this is one long tunnel.
You'd think Wing 1 and 2 would be right next to each other, huh?
More construction ahead. Mind the debris. Thank you.
If only I could duck.
What are they even constructing? Okay, hopefully no more of that.
Is the kid still on the left? Oh, come on, guys. Get it together.
That was way easier than dodging them.
Gotta get those brakes off.
Let me have a go. Let me out here. Get up! Got him, Ty. Oh, God. pulling out all the stops.
Okay, that's the only pun you get for this mission.
Eh.
Try this out.
No problem, guy.
You got this, Mac.
Gotta roll up my sleeves. Another one down.
Try this out. Come on. Switch it up.
Help?
Power forward.
Macaron, 2 final breaks.
Let me at it.
Power forward. Switch it up.
Hold on, boy.
Get him, Macaron.
Let me at it.
Putting your skills to good use, Sir Macaron.
Last one left.
Finish it off, Macaron.
Oh God.
Sock him.
Gotta roll up my sleeves.
Try this out.
Let me at it.
Come on. Can't stop
Oh,
us now.
nice.
Now arriving at Security Wing 2.
So I was thinking, yeah, with no brakes, how we stop it?
Peppermint. Any ideas?
Oh, now you want my help. Chai, a little space here?
Have you had that this whole time?
Don't worry, you got this. But just in case, you might want to hold on to something. See ya.
What?
That's not at all how physics work.
Lift is running a bit late.
I'm sure they'll be here. Huh.
You've now arrived at Wing 2.
That was a smooth ride.
All right, real quick. Okay. I just had to check something.
Security Wing 2. And it looks like they locked me out.
Then we have to force our way in. See anything?
Construction. There might be another way. Oh, no one will see me coming as I sneak into this trap.
That line was good. Oh no!
Well, safe to say they know you're here.
Please, Mr. Chai is under great pressure. Best not to apply anymore.
You got this, Chai. Check out construction for a back door.
Positive reinforcement.
I had to run around and get back on the beat there. Platform construction note. Note from Vaser to construction crew. A lot of questions about the construction and what it's for, so I'll just say it. We got a budget, and if we don't use it, we'll lose it. So, Wing 2 platform construction is officially to change a light bulb above the lift platform. I heard there's a crack in the wall leading to Wing 2, but we'll just paint over that for now. Save it for next quarter. Sneaky.
Corsica here. Well, we do have more pressing matters. Might there be anyone here who knows how to fix the coffee machine? It's only giving out decaf, and with this amount of documentation I need to get through... What? Firmware update? Why does the coffee machine need a firmware?
What's more important than catching me?
Maybe our planted seed about Spectra worked?
No way to know for now. Keep moving.
The speed run for this is below 2.5 hours? Jesus. How on earth? Speedrunners are indeed a unique breed. It's true.
Oh, try this out.
Oh, I'm super dead.
Turn, Peppermint.
Let's go.
Switch it up. Ready for this? Here's your ticket in.
Mission report. Just go up.
Up?
All right, mission report.
That's it?
Looks like Corsica's in her office and it's on the top floor. Hence, up.
There's gotta be a catch.
Oh, there is. But it's not about your route.
Okay, I'm emotionally ready. What's the catch?
You can't just strong-arm Corsica to get her password like the other bosses.
Says who?
Corsica isn't outfitted with Vandelay tech. There's no pass key. She memorizes her passwords.
You'll need to get her to cooperate with us.
What? How am I supposed to do that?
Persuasiveness is indeed not one of Mr. Chai's strong suits.
Cinnamon's right. But we need her password to shut down Spectra. Let's brainstorm here.
I know, who memorizes a password? The least she could do is use a password manager. She is chief of security. Mind you, the messages that were going by earlier saying to change your password every 48 minutes might indicate that she's not amazing at her job.
I told you not to fool around when working. Don't worry, it's fine, man. Nah, it don't look like it from here.
The password is 12345. Uh-oh! Another raid. Funko! Welcome, Raiders. How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well this evening. Having a good evening. What were you up to today, Funko? Warhammer 40K. All right. Also, Meg just got home, which means Maple is sitting up. I did. No, I want it later. Okay, thank you. It's not too bad. It's fine. Well, no, there's a spot where it's clearly burned, but... I mean, I just splattered myself with boiling oil, so it's fine. Anyhow, Maple has just been quietly napping over there all evening. She's been great. Oh, Varbles! For us Raiders, who/what are Meg and Maple? One of them human and one of them dog. Yes, Meg is my partner who was hanging out with friends and just walked in. And Maple is this beautiful golden retriever here. Currently massaging her face. This is Maple. Maple's very happy to see Meg, because Meg has been gone for several hours. Abandoned Maple. Abandoned Matt. Yeah. Also, I made you dinner and left it in the pot on the stove, and now it's 10 o'clock. So.
No, it's only like 9:30. It's 9:26
Did you have dinner?
p.m. No.
Are you
But
going to have dinner now?
Yes, I'm going to eat it right now.
Okay, good. It'll need to be warmed up. There's grated Parmesan on the counter as well.
Warmed up. I'm going to eat it cold.
Okay, sure.
Maybe.
Anyhow, there's... oh, here we go. This is Meg.
Hi, I'm a Meg.
What mic you want, my dude? How many levels of microphone are you on?
I went to the dentist.
I'm on mic 5.
Pardon me?
I went to the dentist.
You went to the dentist, yeah.
And the hygienist looked at my shirt and was like, "You must have a cat or a dog."
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of which...
What a little bastard. We can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things. She gave your sweater, your new sweater.
I know, it's one day
a tooth
old.
Kiss.
There's a hole in my brand new sweatshirt that I'm wearing.
You got
I
this
bought
sweatshirt
it I bought it 2 days ago.
And you didn't wear it. It's like the second time you've worn it.
Yeah. This is the second day I've worn it. I started wearing it yesterday.
Well,
it's not a very big hole.
What we need to do is patch it before it gets big.
I mean, yeah, it just needs a little, stitch.
Just a little.
And it'll be fine. But, yes, I did get a new sweater. The eagle-eyed among you will notice that I am in a crew neck at the moment, not in a V-neck. And that's because I bought a sweatshirt. I figured I needed a slightly... My sweater got beaten to hell just through use and the dog. And I figured I needed a new one that wasn't embarrassing. But I also figured I needed one that was a little more durable than the cashmere sweater that I had. So I went to Uniqlo and I bought it. It's a relatively inexpensive. It was like $50. Like relatively inexpensive, not bottom of the barrel, but not outrageously expensive. But I went to Uniqlo and I bought myself a sweatshirt. And I specifically did buy it because I was like, I'll buy a more durable sweater so that the dog will be less likely to put a hole in it. And then literally within 48 hours, it's got a hole in it. So good times.
Oh, did she poop out her toy yet?
No, not that I've seen.
Damn it.
She will need to go outside imminently because it has been a while. I took her out at dinner time, but
okay.
She's just been hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to eat some food.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
One day we can have nice things again.
One day. She didn't eat a whole toy, but she bit the tail off of her armadillo toy. She just amputated the tail of her armadillo. So now we're waiting for the armadillo tail to come out.
It's probably this long.
Oh no, it's like that long. It's like maybe an inch and a half long. It's not big.
It's as big as my head. She's been like chewing on soft things where she just like sticks them in her molars and like grinds them back and forth.
Yeah.
Because the little tails on her rope tug toy.
Yeah.
She does that with too. Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll come out.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yep.
It went in.
It went in just fine. And she's not giving any indication that she's in distress, so we imagine it'll just come out.
Food's going in, poop's coming out.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it hasn't come out already, frankly.
Maybe it got, like, balled up. And it's like, it already did come out. But I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, neither have I.
I don't know.
Yep. Anyhow, I'm glad you had a good evening.
Yeah, it was lovely. We did lots of cooking.
Nice.
Because she had 3 backed up food preps that needed to be tackled.
I see. So that is a lot of cooking.
We did lots of cooking. And we hung out and gossiped.
Nice. Oh, this is my
Yes.
burn, by the way, right there.
Oh,
I actually, I got myself in several places, but this is the one
that's
that
a
hurt.
big one.
Yeah, because I, splattered myself
Yeah.
with boiling oil. So.
Oh, if I was thinking, I would have gone by the Dairy Queen instead of just going to McDonald's.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I forgot you were up that way.
Yeah.
Alas.
Alas. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, I'll let you get back to this whole streaming thing. Hi.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Oh, chat wants a joke.
Chat wants a joke.
Jibcat specifically wants a joke. To be clear, if the oil is boiling, getting it on you would be much worse. The oil was boiling. It was boiling oil.
It was spattering, probably.
Yes, it was.
Spattering and boiling are different.
It was actively bubbling when I put it in the pan.
Was it bubbling because there was water underneath it?
No, it was a dry pan, and I put it in the pan, and the pan was much too hot, and so it immediately smoked.
What did you put in the pan?
Pardon me?
What did you put in the pan?
Okay, so the oil immediately smoked and was bubbling furiously on the pan. So but I had turned the heat down, so it was coming down, and then I dropped some ground pork into the pan, and the oil splattered up around it.
Yes. So it was probably actually, like, I don't deny that it was hot, and I don't deny that you burnt yourself. But the oil was probably not boiling. It was probably a tiny steam explosion from water underneath the oil in the pork.
Okay.
Superheating.
All right, sure. It was bubbling
and then causing
oil.
the oil to spatter onto your hand.
That spattered onto my hand, and it hurt.
I am technically correct.
All right. Did you hear about the man who was suing the airline company for misplacing his baggage?
Well, I know I didn't, Matt.
Well, he lost his case.
Look at our perfect doggo.
I know, she's great.
She was unruly this morning during my meeting. I have like one meeting every 3 weeks, and I have a meeting.
Oh, speaking of meetings, I reorganized my entire calendar today.
Oh, that's
well,
nice.
Not reorganized, but I organized my whole calendar today. So I took every meeting group and gave it its own color code,
Busy day at work, hey?
It was a busy day at work. Yes, I was trying to find space for another meeting that I had to book.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, back to my cool story about Maple. So my desk is within biting distance of Maple in her playpen at the very end where her stuffed puppy is. And she was ungovernable. So I was like, screw this. You're getting a bully stick. It's 9 a.m. I don't care. And she chewed on it happily for 10 minutes. And then she was like, I'm bored of this bully stick. I would like to chew on your elbow. Maple. What a perfect doofus.
She is a perfect doofus. And now she's staring at us and wagging her tail. She does want to eat your socks. She definitely wants it. Look at how desperately she wants to eat those socks. This is the most active Maple has been all evening. Oh. I gotta give you the goods. Here we go. I'm just going to leave it here for a while. You can watch this playtime go on over there. Yeah, so vicious. Such viciousness. Oh, chat can't see the top of that because the camera doesn't go that high. She's been really good at place today. Like, really good at place today. Uh-oh. No, you're much too close to the camera now. That was a good shake. Well, she tried. She anticipates what the command is going to be. And so she always does the wrong, like she routinely does the wrong one. Meg will be like, touch, and she'll shake. I know, she tries to anticipate the command. It's really funny.
Like one of my favorite games to play with her. Like, I'm going to give you the same hand signal.
Yeah. All right. Maple's playtime is over. Let's carry on.
Cutting off elevator access.
Going up is very up. And I just lost the quick way.
Ah, the Chai I know wouldn't let that stop him.
Macaron, you've known me for like 5 hours.
Send any security available to capture him.
Hey, we've been here for 5 hours.
I need quiet time right now.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Ghost of Jeff Goldblum, you're correct. I don't have any intent to make Maple work. Technically, I think she's a sporting breed, not a working breed, by classification. She plays basketball. Well, there are no rules that say a dog can't play basketball.
I look so cool doing this.
Ah, Brownie looked it up. Yes, they are sporting group dogs. And yes, they love water, because they are, of course, water dogs. Although she doesn't know it yet, because we've still not taken her to the beach. Although she does love the bathtub. Oh no, my first playthrough tag is still misspelled. I think it was plague through at one point.
Cinnamon, give me the rundown on Corsica.
Let's see. Hardworking, demanding, lack of humor. All the perfect qualities of a boss.
However, she just joined Vandelay 6 months ago.
It did seem like she's been trying to prove herself to Kale since we ran into her.
That's pretty insecure for head of security.
Hey, a joke from Peppermint. Where for?
Oh, there's a button to push up there. No, God damn it. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. Ha ha! Ah, I got there. Oh, God. I didn't even see what the button did. What did the button did? Apparently I can't go back. I didn't see what it did.
No test to all security employees. I removed access from elevators temporarily. Please make use of the stairs. It is a healthy alternative.
Okay, there's a samurai up there.
Let me at them.
Trying to concentrate? If you find that guitar-toting defect, let me know.
Will do. no! Yeah, that was the free attack. I just screwed up the... I screwed up the button press.
Get up! God eyes on him. Back around! Here's the old one, too.
Oh. Well, I'm glad I inspected up here. Look at that. Ah.
3, 2, 1, More out-of-sync security notes.
No.
Your specialty, Miss Evelyn. You must be so excited.
Very.
Here we go.
Light 'em up.
Oh, there's going to be more up this way. No! I'm so good at this. Oh, come on.
All right, gotta keep moving.
Oh, man. Whose idea was it to build a totally vertical security building? I gotta say, don't feel so motivated to get back to work right now.
Hello, gentle friends.
No problem, guys.
You got this back, Cole.
Please spit some health out.
You got this, man.
Ready for this?
Hey, wait! Come on!
Oh, Jesus.
Get up!
Got a hold of my sleeve.
Here we go!
That was the old one, too. Got a hold of my sleeves.
And that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. It was not the most graceful cut. That was a very hard cut. But that's where I'm going to leave it tonight. It is 10 o'clock, so it is time for me to call it a night. Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who subscribes, everybody who follows, everybody who cheers, everybody who chats, and everybody who hangs out and lurks. It's a genuine thrill to stream for you, and I hope you have as much fun watching as I do playing. I'll be back Saturday, same Matt time, same Matt chat. I'll be back. Same Matt time, same Matt channel here on twitch.tv/Wiggins at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Saturday. God, I have the hiccups with more Hi-Fi Rush. Until then, of course, you can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Wiggins_TV. And if you're a subscriber, you can join the Discord by making sure your Twitch account and Discord account are linked to Discord's backend, where my server will appear to you as if by magic among your linked servers. Also, Varbles, thank you for the follow, and Jibcat has redeemed yet another joke, so let's see if I can find another joke. Have you heard about the new name for chicken salad? Breast implants. That one's oof worthy. That's fair. See if I can find another one for you. How do you unhear a joke? You don't. What? Did you know that at one time I tried to go vegetarian? I quit cold turkey. All right, that's going to be it. We are going to see if there's somebody online who I can raid. So let's have a look. Dan's up, yeah. So let's do that. Everybody hop aboard this raid train. I will see you back here on Saturday. Until then, so long, have a great night, and goodbye.